Hello, beautiful viewers. Welcome back to the channel. Are you ready for a WWE story that nobody in WWE wants to say out loud? Because what unfolded at Survivor Series wasn't just chaos, it was a signal. A warning that someone who had been overlooked, underestimated, and pushed aside is back with a firestorm. That someone is Liv Morgan. For months, fans were led to believe Liv was sidelined, nursing an injury, scrolling Instagram, and keeping a low profile. But behind closed doors, she wasn't resting, she was watching. Watching as the faction she had poured her blood, sweat, and heart into began to unravel. Watching as someone else stepped into the space she earned. And the final insult? It wasn't the usual suspects, Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, or even Dominic Mysterio. It was Roxanne Perez who claimed the spotlight Liv once held. Tonight, on Monday Night Raw, all of that tension comes to a head. What may seem like just another episode is anything but. This is the fallout from Survivor Series, a night in San Diego that changed everything. Every alliance, every rivalry, every storyline thought to be settled has now exploded into open conflict. And at the center of it all? Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez. This battle didn't appear overnight. It has been simmering for months, building quietly, like a storm gathering on the horizon. Back in June, Liv was entangled in the Judgment Day saga. She wasn't officially part of the faction, but her presence was undeniable. Dominic Mysterio gravitated toward her energy, while Finn Balor worked tirelessly to keep her at arm's length. Balor couldn't tolerate Liv's influence on Dominic, the subtle cracks forming in the group he had meticulously constructed. And then Roxanne Perez entered the picture. On the surface, Roxanne seemed like the perfect addition to Judgment Day, controlled, polished, precise. She wasn't there for drama or distraction. She was the counterbalance Balor needed, a weapon against chaos. Slowly but surely, Roxanne pulled Dominic back in line, and Judgment Day regained a semblance of order. Meanwhile, Liv was out of the ring, her storyline frozen, her absence leaving a gap that no one else could fill, until Survivor Series. When Liv returned at the pay-per-view, it wasn't just a comeback, it was a statement. She attacked John Cena, shocking everyone, and positioned Dominic for one of the biggest wins of his career. Roxanne's reaction backstage said it all, a mix of shock, confusion, and awareness that her carefully built position was now under threat. Liv wasn't just back. She was reclaiming what she felt had been taken from her. Liv Morgan thrives on chaos. She doesn't fade into the background, she explodes into the spotlight. And tonight, her target isn't the entire faction, it's Roxanne. The woman who stepped into her shoes, who represented the order and control that Liv resists. This isn't just a personal grudge, it's a declaration that she refuses to be erased or replaced. But Roxanne Perez is no rookie being steamrolled. She is a tactician, a sharp mind with instincts honed for situations like this. She understands the fragility of factions and the dangers of underestimating a returning Liv Morgan. Roxanne has been watching, learning, and preparing. One mistake could unravel everything she's worked for, but she is ready to defend her place in Judgment Day. And then there's Dominic Mysterio, the human fulcrum of this entire storyline. On one side, he has Liv, wild and untamed, dragging him toward unpredictability and rebellion. On the other, he has Roxanne and Balor, offering structure, stability, and loyalty to the faction. Dominic's struggle is the beating heart of this saga. Which path will he choose? Which influence will dominate his decisions? The tension isn't just in the ring, it's in every glance, every interaction, every whispered conversation behind the scenes. Imagine the scene tonight on Raw, the lights dim, the crowd buzzing with anticipation. Liv Morgan's theme hits, and she strides down the ramp with the energy of a storm about to hit. Her eyes lock on Roxanne, a dangerous smile crossing her face. She grabs the mic and calls out her rival by name, leaving no doubt about who she's hunting. This isn't about the faction or Dominic, it's personal. It's about reclaiming space, legacy, and respect. Roxanne walks out calm and collected, but her focus is razor sharp. She knows Liv is coming not just with words, but with an intent to dominate and disrupt. Every move will be measured, every counter calculated. The clash isn't just physical, it's psychological. It's a battle over identity, control, and the loyalty of Dominic Mysterio. This isn't a storyline that's going to resolve in a single night. This is the ignition point of a saga. Judgment Day, already strained, could fracture under this pressure. Rhea Ripley's absence, Baylah's desperate attempts to maintain control, Damian Priest's drifting attention, everything is vulnerable. Roxanne may be the stabilizing force, but Liv's return injects chaos back into a system that thought it was safe. The implications go far beyond tonight's confrontation. This is a war for dominance, for narrative, for the soul of a faction that has held power for months. Will Liv carve her own path? Will she inspire Dominic to rebel, creating new cracks in the foundation? Will Roxanne prove she belongs, or will she be swept aside by the whirlwind that is Liv Morgan? One thing is certain, Survivor Series was just the beginning. Raw tonight is the spark that lights the fire. Liv's confrontation with Roxanne isn't just a feud, it's a statement. It's about identity, about refusing to be replaced, and about showing the WWE Universe that chaos has its own rules, its own champions. Fans are already speculating. Will there be a match tonight? Will Judgment Day fracture in front of our eyes? Could Liv create her own faction, pulling Dominic and others toward a new era of unpredictability? The possibilities are endless, but the energy is undeniable. The stage is set for one of WWE's most compelling rivalries in recent memory. By the end of tonight, one thing will be crystal clear: Liv Morgan is back, and she's here to reclaim her throne, not lightly, not cautiously, but with full force. Roxanne Perez may be precise, strategic, and disciplined, but Liv thrives in chaos, and chaos has a way of rewriting the rules entirely. Survivor Series may have been the spark, but Raw is the explosion. This isn't just about wins and losses in the ring, it's about legacy, loyalty, and control. It's about who Dominic chooses, who rises, and who falls. WWE fans are witnessing the birth of a war that will define the landscape of Monday Night Raw for weeks, maybe months, to come. Buckle up, because Liv Morgan is back, and the storm is just beginning.